Welcome to Speaking of Saints, during which we will meditate and explore the lives of the great saints of the church. Any good priest or spiritual director will tell you and strongly encourage you to read the lives of the saints, study their lives. And why is that? That's because the saints are our forerunners in the faith. They are examples of what we need to be so that we can make it to heaven and be happy. The saints are proof to us that it can be done. It can be accomplished to live this life and end up with Almighty God in heaven. Today I wanted to start with St. John Vianney, who is probably my favorite saint. St. John Vianney was born in 1786 to very poor parents. His father was a shepherd of sheep, and St. John tended his sheep, his dad's sheep, while his father was off trying to make a living. St. John was known from an early age to be very pious, to be very prayerful. His mother said that at 9 years old he was in the church a lot, making visits to the Blessed Sacrament. He also was known to correct his friends, his playmates, for their bad language and their bad behavior, even at 9 years old. And so people knew that from an early age that he was going to be a very special person. And so he eventually asked his father when he was 18 years old to enter the seminary and become a priest. After a lot of difficulty, he finally was ordained, became a priest, and he was assigned to a very poor parish in Ars. And when he arrived in the parish, he was very grieved to find that very few people were attending Mass on Sundays. Very small group of elderly women were the only ones attending Mass regularly on Sunday. And St. John Vianney had a great love of souls, so this grieved his heart. So he began spending entire evenings, entire nights in prayer before the Blessed Sacrament on his knees. It was a marble floor in front of the tabernacle, and Mother Angelica herself visited the church and said that you can see two small indentions in the marble where St. John would kneel all night in prayer. And he became very rigorous in his fasting for his people. He wanted to fill the church again, and eventually he did. He was known and famous for his long hours in the confessional. He prayed for many months before people started to return, and the people knew that he had a gift. He could read souls, and his fame in the confessional started to grow. When he first arrived in the parish, went on a campaign against drinking and dancing and gambling, and after a while people actually stopped doing those things. And one of the ladies was asked, "Why did you do that?" And she said, "Because our priest is a saint, and he's very holy, and we're going to obey him." So he spent many years in Ars. He tried to leave twice because he felt unworthy to be a priest. He was found in the woods one day, kneeling down in the woods crying, and someone walked up to him and said, "Father, why are you crying?" And he said, "I'm weeping over my poor life." This is a very holy man, and he was weeping over his poor life, worried about his eternal soul, which shows us how concerned we should be for our lives and for our eternity. He would enter the confessional at 2 o'clock in the morning and would remain in the confessional till the following evening, sometimes at 6 p.m. People would wait all day long and have to take a number to go to confession with Father Vianney. One day he came out of the confessional to use the bathroom and to get something to eat, and he noticed a man in the back of the church who was there out of curiosity. And St. John read his soul from a distance and said, "You, sir, it's been too long, you're next for confession." And the man entered the confessional, and St. John read his soul, and the man came out weeping. But he was known to fast for days at a time. He would boil small potatoes and hang them from the ceiling of his rectory because he didn't want the rats to eat them. That's the conditions that he lived in. Every 2 days he would eat 2 little potatoes. He filled the church, he converted many people, and eventually he wore himself out. And when he died, when they took his garments off, it was revealed that he was nothing more than a skeleton from his fasting. He truly spent himself for his people, and he was a great example for priests today. In fact, Pius XI named him the patron saint of parish priests, which means he is the priest that priests should look to for their example of what kind of priest they should be. And so I invite you to study his life, to pray to him for help. This has been Speaking of Saints. My name is Dale Hayes Jr. God bless you.